my God. Club Brugge 1, Aston Villa 0. Bruges have not beaten a team since the mid-90s that have come from England. And up step Aston Villa. Where do we start with this? Villa fans, smash the likes. At least give me something. Give me the likes. So let's try and get around 800 likes. Comment your thoughts in the comment section down below, more importantly, on the performance or lack of performance. And yeah, I mean, fair play to Club Brugge. They thoroughly deserved the win. They were tactically exceptional. They had a game plan. They stuck to it. They exploited us. And they thoroughly deserved that victory. Right, let's get into it and get my thoughts. I am very, very, very disappointed with that performance because coming off the back of the capitulation in the second half against Spurs, we had the opportunity to bounce back, fight back, restore some confidence, and put on a performance that warrants us to get back on track to where we think we are and where we expect to be by going through in the top 8 now. Now that looks even more difficult because we've lost the game. So it was a key opportunity and an opportunity for some players that aren't in form to really grasp their opportunity and get some confidence and just get back on track. Get back on track to what we do well. And for me, that was one of the most important things that I wanted to see from it. Like, I was buzzing about the game all day. I was really excited to see what we were going to do and how we were going to perform. But we were just way off it. And some of you might think I might be going over the top or I might, might be frustrated. This is full-time reaction. So I just don't understand what we've done there. And I don't understand why we look so far away from an Unai Emery team. That's the big thing that I'm really losing track of why don't we look like what we normally do? And that's what I don't like. I'm watching Emery on the touchline and I'm watching him prowling. I'm watching him being tense. I'm watching him bark orders at the team. But it's just not being replicated on the pitch because they're just pondering around. Like, it's just, they're just knocking it about Bodymore Heath. That's literally how it feels. And I understand the basic principles of this Emery team. It is all about control. Emery wants to control the first minute right through until the last minute. But with that control, you do have to have an urgency. You do have to have energy. You do have to have aggression. You can't just ponder through a game and just expect things to happen and just play within ourselves. If those 10 outfield players had the demeanor of the manager on the touchline, then we'd be in a far better place during that game. And I'm not sure on why they're not grasping what he wants them to be able to do. We've started the game okay, knocking it about, and I think we can get in a bit of a. I think we're getting in a bit of a rut, and the rut is the fine line between possession-based control and then creative flair and ability to pass it forward and move around and beat your man and take your man on and become quite expressive. At half time, you're looking at it thinking, okay, it's 0-0. And I imagine that we all sat wherever we were watching and we were thinking, it's 0-0. We've not played that well, but we're away from home. If we come out next second half and step on it and bring that urgency and a bit more zip and we get a bit more creative, then I'm sure we will create more and more chances. We'll grow into the game and we should go on to win it. But we don't. We just aimlessly knocking it round in our build-up. Like, I felt like a couple of players played okay. Like I felt like Kamara played pretty well. Um, he was loose at times, but I felt like he played well. But apart from that, who else can we really look at in that performance and go, you know what, you were really good today? I thought Bailey started off okay. He was getting touches, he was coming inside, he was looking okay. And then as the game goes on, he starts playing within himself. How many opportunities does it go wide to the right? And you're thinking, right, take your touch, out your feet, put the ball in. And it's comes inside, goes back outside, comes inside, the move's gone, there's no options. Matson didn't really offer too much width on that left-hand side until late on in the game. And then we found him a couple of times we looked better. Ollie Watkins' touch was just dreadful. Hold up play, got absolutely bullied by their centre half. He had an opportunity in the first half, shot outside the box. Rodgers played on the left, didn't really get involved, didn't really do too much. He turned them, I think, on one occasion and we were away. McGinn, non-existent. Tielemans, loose in the middle of the park. Conser, okay. Carlos, you know, epitomised by the yellow card. Mings gets a yellow. Carlos, just go away. Go get back in position. What are you doing? Like yapping away. The ref would already give you a bit of a stern look to say move, and he's still yapping. Yellow card. So in the space of 2 minutes, you've got two centre halves on a yellow card. And that gives you problems because sometimes we do play on the edge with the high line. You need recovery runs, etc. Both of those on a yellow. Matson didn't offer much on the left, which was poor. So all in all, every single play, like Duran, like when we go to these two up top and we get this question of, can the two play together? No, they can't. They can't play together because you could see in the second half, Emery was spitting feathers. He was going mad because he doesn't drop deep. He doesn't drop deep and he's not linking up plays. They're just two central forwards that are just standing next together. We've got two wide players and there's nothing in the middle. So the gap between the centre forward and the central midfielder is non-existent. I'm going to have to go to this tactical pad. I don't normally do this on match reactions, but any of you that watched the match preview, what did I say? I said on the match preview that the biggest threat that Club Brugge do, right? And this was, we can all see what happened, right? Club Brugge here in the middle of the park nullified us centrally. They were exceptional at this, but we knew it was going to happen. And Aston Villa YouTube knew it was going to happen. Like, I knew that they were going to be so dominant in this area because that's how they play. They set those traps. They entice you in, they break, and then these wide players break, the centre forwards quick, he gets around these areas. How many times did we get turned over on transition through poor balls in the middle of the park? Literally, I knew it was going to happen. I knew it. I'd done my research and I knew it was going to happen. And time again, we were playing it through the middle of the park. What did we need to do? We needed to get it out here quickly and we needed to have Matson offering more of a threat on that left-hand side. That is what we needed to do. We needed to use the width more often. If you've got all of these players that are really congested in this area, why are you continually going through the centre of the pitch? It makes no sense. There's no space. So all of these nice little intricate passes that we're doing, we need to use the width more. But the winger just comes inside and he's not getting to the byline. He's not beating his man. Nobody beats a man. So I think if Bailey gets criticised, literally they all need to get criticised today because they were all bad. And then the penalty, right? The penalty epitomises the whole performance because it's a complete lack of concentration. Yeah, Arsenal had one last season that wasn't given, but Martinez has kicked the ball to Tyrone Mings and he's picked it up. You have to be mentally switched on in all of this is the makeup of our team. We've got one of the most intense managers there are in world football. And that needs to go onto the pitch as well. And I think, yeah, you could probably say it's brain fog. He didn't mean to do it. So he didn't mean to do it, but he's not concentrating. That's the bottom line. He's not fully concentrating on what's going on. And it goes back to intensity. It's just, oh, Martinez is just kicking the ball. I'm just going to like pick it up and give it him back. Not intense enough. And it goes back to all of them players. There's not an urgency. They're not intense. And it's just not good enough. We've been blessed with a lot of good football at Villa over the last 2 years. But the mindset has been one of the big things as well. And they need to switch on. One of the other big things that was really like getting on my nerves as well. I'm sorry I'm ranting, but I'm really frustrated. I love this club and I want us to do the best we can. But what I saw today has got me really frustrated. So we've got these two central strikers here. Right, we've got Tielemans, we've got Kamara, and we'll go to the average positions in a second. So this is what the shape of our team looks like. But there's just no movement. Like, no one's moving. You've got Rodgers, Duran. Imagine it's Duran. I'll put Duran on there because we'll get Duran. So we put Duran on there. So, Duran's the centre forward. They're just literally standing there, just not moving whatsoever. No one's peeling off. No one's moving around. Utter frustration for me. I'm so annoyed with what we've done there because it's 3 losses in a row now. We've got Liverpool next. We play like that against Liverpool. With that, if we literally play like that against Liverpool, we are getting absolutely battered. We are getting royally battered because they can just blitz a team, which we saw they did against Leverkusen in the space of 20 minutes. So momentum bar of the game, we can see that Villa kind of good spells, bad spells, not enough spells. If we go to the average positions, what we'll find is that we can see here now. So we've got Kamara, we've got Tielemans, but the lack of width from Maatsen really in an average position. Look at average positions where we are. Frustrating. If we have a little look at let's have a look at some of the duels. So if we have a look at duels then, so what were we winning here then? So Kamara won 3 of his 8 duels. We've got Maatsen won 4 of 6. Tielemans won 3 of 5. Bailey's won 1 of 2. Consa's won 5 of 9. Carlos has won none of 2. McGinn's won 1 of 3. Possession, we've had 56% possession. We have had an XG of 0.42. We've played 543 passes. I imagine most of them have gone sideways. Big chances, none. Big chances scored, none. Big chances missed, 1. Final third passes, 73%. Long balls, 48%. Crosses, 15. Oh, don't get me started on those set pieces. Those set pieces hitting the first man. Every single one of them. Bailey, Tielemans, first man galore. I hope that Emery is absolutely ripping into them now because I just weren't good enough. It just weren't good enough. And yeah, we've been blessed with good football, but we're not that team anymore. We're not that. That is old Villa that we don't see that often anymore. But that's a Villa performance that I'm so used to over the years of my lifetime supporting them. And yeah, really poor. So that's really frustrating. And I think at times as well, like, I'm going in on the players a little bit as well, but do we need to mix our system up a little bit as well? Because we do play the same now pretty regularly, exactly the same. So, if you're trying to analyse Villa, you pretty much know what they're going to do. It's about stopping us. And if you can stop us, then you'll get joy from it. And that's what some of these teams are doing. They absolutely did a tactical job on us. And And that is literally, if you want to figure a way of beating Villa, that's how you do it. That is how you do it. You hit us on transition, etc. And I know we've lost through that penalty, but that's not enough to just go, oh, that you're being harsh, because that's how we played. Is a bit of a worry. So what the biggest frustration I've got coming out of it is a lot of the little questions that I've got from Spurs, and I know it was only a half against Spurs, and the areas that I spoke about on the reaction to Spurs is, and we spoke about it on the preview to this game as well, as coming to fruition a little bit, because there's not enough attacking outlet. Either side of the double pivot, again, there's not enough movement, there's not enough creativity, there's not enough creativity into Watkins, there's not enough movement. And those are all things that I was saying after the Spurs game. Now we've gone into this one and we've done the same thing again. So the slight worry I've got as well is when you've had a bad performance and you're looking for a reaction and you don't get a reaction, that's quite bad. And that's quite telling as well, that when we needed a reaction, we haven't got one. So we've got to have a reaction against Liverpool now at Anfield. So we've got to be better. We've got to be collectively better. I think absolutely everything. You can run through everything. Transitional defending, attacking play, set pieces. Tactically, we didn't quite get it right at times. Substitutions, the two up top, it's not working. It just feels like, to me like, if the creativity was there for going two up top and we're creating chances, and it's a case of we need Duran on to create and get on the end of stuff, then fine. But if we're not creating anything, we're taking a midfielder off and putting a striker on, where you've got two strikers up top that just don't want to. They want to score. They want to attack. They want to stay high. We're losing someone in midfield as well. So it's something that we've got to really work on. Like, I'm really frustrated, and I imagine a lot of you are frustrated as well. So, I'm just coming on here and sharing my honest views after watching that performance and how I feel as a fan. So there we go. I don't think there's much more for me to moan about. Otherwise, I'll just keep moaning and keep ranting all night. But something's gotta change quick. Mentality has got to change quick. We've got to get back on it, because 3 losses in a row, we don't do this under Emery. And on paper, you're going to say we're going to get 4 losses. So not good enough. Not good enough, Villa. So anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for getting this far. If you can make sure you're smashing the likes, just helps me out. I know you're probably not happy, but yeah, if you help me out, then that's good for me. So yeah, if you are new and got this far, I don't know, I don't rant much, so this is very unlike me anyway. But subscribe if you're new. Comment your thoughts. Up the Villa.